Hey everyone, this is Man Shark Sub LPs. I'm Sub, and this is Odyssey, the Invention of Science. We're learning about pendulum motion. So, we've just finished an little experiment in there. We should be following the cyan cable, but something in the journal that we read at the very end of last episode means that I need to head over this way and check something real quick. Need to get back up in that radio tower. Oh, here's the well. Okay. To get to the radio tower, I think we had to go through the tunnel. Which means we've got to rotate this one as well. Bear with me for a bit here, guys. It does have a very heavy Myst-like vibe to it. And you know what? I didn't really play much of the original Myst or any of the Myst games. Because when I did, they always seemed sort of... like you... It was like doing a cryptic crossword for me. Okay, bird. We've got to remember that word. We're trying to get up there and you can see the cyan cable here. Bird is the combination lock. I would not have remembered that. Yeah, like the problem I have with cryptic crosswords, like I know you can figure them out, like I know, but it always seems to me that it's the kind of thing where it's like, yeah, once you know what the answer is, it's easy as hell. And that was sort of the problem with Myst for me, because it was like, what do you do? Admittedly, I haven't even tried to play it since I was 12, so, or you know, around that age, so that's probably got something to do with it. But you know, it's still the impression. Oh, we need to get down there, sorry. So, around here. And we follow the cyan cable. Ah, that's right, it comes into this cave here. Yeah, very nice terrain. Like, I know it's like basic ass textures and shit, but it's done well. Here we are, and yeah, you indeed cannot see the bird sign from up here. Well, I wonder how many letters do we have? Oh god, it's everything. No, it's a range, but like, yeah. Would not be easy to guess. Okay, now. These are our code. Damn it, that. These are our codes here. So, what did she actually say about the safe? Match the symbols to the pendulum speeds on the safe. What speeds? Okay, so here's the pendulum going left and right. So we're trying to find the... What are we trying to order it from slowest to fastest, basically? So the slowest are the ones with the smaller angles. No, that wasn't right. Slower are the ones with the longest strings. I'm just going to confirm that. Yep, because the relationship is, was it the time period is proportional to the square root of the length? Yeah. So the smaller the length, the shorter the period. Okay. Just go. I don't know if going back to the page matters at all, but you know, why not? So the shorter the length, the smaller the period. So the shortest length is this one here, the D8. So D8 and D6. So it's 8, 6, 12, 4, 20. 8, 6, 8, 6, 12, 4, 20. So 8, 6. Wait. I think we've done it the wrong way. This one has to be 8. 8, 6, 12, 4, 20, go. YN? Oh no, got it. Awesome. Oh, and a key. Okay, can we step away from this? I might just turn that off. That's really irritating. There we go. Alright, let's read. Dad had a great idea, and instead we put everyone's dinner in the safe, sandwiches and fruit, and we let Sid lead the way. I hid the drawings a little too well, so I had to play the hot and cold game to get Sid to find them. It wasn't too long till he worked out the safe and opened it. Then we all sat on top of a high cliff by the safe and had a picnic dinner. Dad said, or Mum said, she was surprised I hadn't asked what was in the army safe originally when they first found it and opened it last week. Sid hadn't asked either. We asked now. Dad said they found army documents, a lot of boring stuff, but some exciting stuff too. It said the covered well near the radio tower isn't really a well, it's a lava tube leading down to a network of caves under islands and out under the ocean floor. They only built a well entrance at the top to disguise it. That's why it was hooked up to a generator when we went past. Inside, we should find a ladder leading down, a door sealing the entrance, and beyond that, an undersea cave system leading to Wretched Major. I asked why we haven't opened the well yet if they found out about this days ago. Dad said this was a major discovery, and he wanted to make sure those sailors didn't come back before opening it. He finally told us he was worried they weren't here by coincidence. He thinks they might believe he's here because he's discovered something, maybe some old pirate treasure, and they might be lurking around to see if they can steal anything valuable we find. But it's been 3 days now, so it's probably safe. But then as we were packing up after dinner, we heard a boat motor offshore. Dad asked Alarm to go with him to the dock and told the rest of us to stay up here. Pirates! Alright, let's go. Whoa! That's not supposed to happen. Whatever. Just a little ledge there. Alright, so we've got to go back down, follow the cables all the way back down to the main village area, I guess you could call it. And then we're going to open up a well. And go along some lava tubes. Weird place for lava tubes to be, but then I don't really know much about that geographically. Anyway, here's the key. In it goes. Whoops, went the wrong way. Okay, this is cool as shit. Nice. Yeah, super cool. Loving it. Hello. Okay. M9, M25, T is equal to that, T is equal to 2, T is equal to that. What's that mean? Okay. Interesting. Oh, I think I know. If t is equal to 2 at m25, what is t equal to if m equals 9? It should still be 2. There's no difference. Right? Nope, wrong. Huh. Wait. Ah, no, there is a difference because the length is shorter. Right. The length is... Well, let's see. A fourth? Say 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, if that length is 1 and that length is 4, then this should be, what, 1/16th of that? You can't do 1/16th of 2. Or maybe it's after this one here. Oh, hang on. Oh no, I see. This corresponds to that number. This corresponds to whatever that number is. Let's just check the book out again to make sure we got the formula right. Yeah, so time period is proportional to the square root of a length. Alright, easy. So, they've actually done a bit of work for us. You call this L, then this is 4 times L, which means T is 2, so T would be 1 if L, then 1. So we're going to call this side 1. Now down here, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Yeah, that's exactly what it is. So at 16, T will be equal to 4. Got it. Oh, loading screen. Haven't seen one of those in a bit. I guess we're entering Wretched Major now. Got an achievement. Very nice. What have we here? More writing. And some crystals up ahead. Let's check these crystals of this writing out first. August 4. It was almost dark when Dad and Guillaume came back to get us. It was the same sailors as last time. They said they still couldn't find their friends and needed to call them again. Dad let them use our boat radio again, and they found out, according to Guillaume translating the conversation, that their friends got delayed themselves, but they set a new meeting place and time and they left again. Dad doesn't think they'll be back again, so he can open the well tomorrow and go into the caves below. It seemed like Dad wasn't suspicious anymore, but then Sid came to me later and told me he overheard Mum and Dad talking about outside. Dad's actually more worried than ever. He said he doesn't believe the sailors at all. He offered to take a look at their broken radio to try and fix it, and they laughed and said they threw it overboard when it broke. Yeah, that's a lie. But then they kept Dad away from their boat, saying it was dirty with fish guts, so he couldn't see for himself if their radio was really gone. They even asked if they could detach and borrow our radio, promising to bring it back in a few days after meeting with their friends. Dad said no, of course, and the sailors didn't seem bothered, but it was a very suspicious thing for them to ask. Then the sailors kept asking to look around and implied that Dad wasn't an authority and couldn't make them go away, but he kept insisting and they finally left. Mum wondered if it was time to call the actual authorities. It super is. But Dad said he didn't have any evidence. He might be wrong. Besides, he might be wrong. He thinks we're safe enough with the locked doors in the bunker and the bridges rotated away to prevent anyone from getting to the rest of Wretched Minor. So we're going to go ahead down the well in the morning, but we're going to be careful not to disturb things too much up top. So if anyone does get to us, they might also not realize the well is actually a secret passage. This morning we raised the lid on the well and we found steel rungs embedded in the wall leading down. Mum and Dad checked it out and they said it was safe to use. At the bottom is a solid door with a lock, but the combination was in the codebook Dad found. He made his way at the top while he opened the door. It was far below the waterline and he was worried the other side of the door might be flooded. He dialed in the combination and Mum tied a rope to the handle. We pulled the latch open from the top of the well and nothing happened. Dad climbed down and called to us that it was okay. The caves inside had been strung with lights, and since Mum powered the cables above, some of them worked. But other than cables and lights and some crates, there isn't much beside natural caves and tunnels connecting them. But then we got to the deepest part of the cave system and found two amazing things. Getting into the Underdark here, that's what's happening. The first thing was lava. Holy shit. Alright. The deepest crevice in the cave has a river of lava flowing through it, lighting up the whole cave. Mum and Dad were just as excited as Sid and I were, but I could see it made them nervous for us to be so close to molten rock. Mum says it's probably over 1,000 degrees, Fahrenheit and Celsius. The other amazing thing we found was what Dad was looking for, the way to Wretched Major. We found tracks and a few mining carts linked together. The first cart has an engine, like a little locomotive, to drive the short train. It has a key in the ignition, but no gas. Dad said it looked like a diesel. Look, Gulam said, wow, where'd I get Dad out from there? Gulam said it looked like a diesel engine and would work with some fuel from a boat. The tracks lead to a rotating bridge over a chasm. Since it's sheltered here, it doesn't need much repair. On the other side of the lava chasm is a large closed door. We couldn't get there with the bridge rotated away, but we eventually found a different side tunnel that led there. Mum stepped on a ground switch between the tracks, and the big door opened. When she lifted her foot, it closed. She triggered it again, and we could see on the other side was a second ground switch. Mum said it was so the train would hit the first switch, open the door, and the train was long enough to hit the second switch before it left the first one. So the door stayed open while the train went through and then closed. That's a fancy mechanism. Sid and I wanted to go right away to Wretched Major, but Dad said not yet. First he wants to thoroughly search the caves to make sure there isn't anything important he missed. Then we can come up with a plan to explore past the big door. Mum said, archaeologists, and rolled her eyes, but she was smiling. She said we might want to use the mining carts to haul stuff back and forth, so while Dad was archaeologizing, she would work on fixing the bridge. She thinks it will only take a couple of days with Gulam's help, so Sid and I can help Dad explore the caves more carefully. Gonna find some, drow down here. I could also tell she didn't want us working near the lava. I don't mind, I can see it when I want to, and it's really hot in there. Dad said he could use the help, but he also said that if we found any more switches, we weren't to touch them. And he looked at Mum and said, if the undersea cave on the other side of that door was flooded, we'd all be dead right now. Mum lowered her head and said she was sorry. She thought the switch was connected to the tracks and bridge mechanism, not the door, or she wouldn't have stepped on it. She promised not to make fun of archaeologists anymore. August 6, 1:30 p.m. Didn't take long to search everywhere in the caves. By the end of yesterday, Sid and I had pretty much explored everywhere. The only things we found were some funny lava rocks called pumice. They're spheres about the size of basketballs, but they aren't really very heavy. They look too big to pick up, but Sid and I can toss them back and forth. I still wouldn't do that. Pumice is very sharp, very rough. I'm thinking of using them to make some big pendulums. Went back to experimenting with my pendulum models before I built any new pendulums with the pumice. I don't know if it's pumice or pumice. Whatever. I was messing around with my old models and I accidentally broke one. It was a model with two identical masses and string lengths, where I'd swing the bulbs from different starting amplitudes, and I accidentally broke the beam both pendulums were tied to. There weren't any replacement beams handy, so I tied a rope to the framework and cinched it tight. Then I tied the two pendulums to this taut rope instead of a wooden beam. I swung one of the bulbs to check that the new rope was tight enough to work like a support beam, and I saw something amazing. Yeah, they're going to actually react to each other now. The bulb I swung slowed down quicker than usual, and the other bulb started swinging all by itself. The first bulb swung less and less, while the second one swung more and more. Then the first bulb stopped completely, and the second bulb was swinging as much as the first one had been, even though I never touched it. It was like all the swinging left the first bulb and went over to the second bulb. Oh yeah, if this is how they've done it, yeah, that's entirely expected. Because when this moves, it's imparting force through the whole thing. It's a little confusing, I'll be very honest. A little confusing to illustrate without being able to actually draw. But the force being imparted at this point here is then being split between that and that. Not evenly, definitely not evenly. Angles matter. And because this force's direction is changing as it moves, because force is a vector, so initially the force on this point from this string is out in this direction, like that. But as it passes through here, it's like that, and then eventually it'll come over here like that. And then that is being, as it progresses through the cycle, being distributed up onto this string and this string too. And because, if this is directly vertical, then what you'll find is, because this isn't directly vertical, it's only getting a portion of that. Actually, you can do this pretty easily. Say it's getting 10 newtons of force down here when it's at this position here. The vertical force is 10 newtons onto this rope, but that's not the entire force, because then it has a horizontal component to it from being pulled against it here, and that horizontal component is equal to this horizontal component. However, as this moves, the vertical and horizontal components of this force are changing, which means that it varies the force on each of these, and as the force on this one varies, so do the forces on these pieces here vary. Then it happened again backwards. The second bob started slowing. This is actually a really interesting interaction, I'll be completely honest. I haven't encountered it before, but just from physics, engineering physics, and knowing how force works, I can kind of puzzle it out. The second bob started slowing down, and the first one started swinging until the first bob was the only one swinging again. This kept happening back and forth over and over. It's not a perpetual motion device though, because they will eventually, damp out. I looked closer to see how this could be happening, and I noticed some things. When I drop one bob and it does its big amplitude swing, it pulls on the horizontal rope beam it's tied to. It's this one here. This makes the rope beam move back and forth a little in the direction of the swinging. Yeah, that moves the rope beam at the top of the other pendulum a little too, and this swings that pendulum a bit. Because the rope beam is moving ahead of the second pendulum in the direction the bob is swinging, this pulls the second pendulum to move more and more with each swing. But I couldn't figure out how or why the motion of the first bob gets completely transferred to the second one, instead of them swinging the same amount as each other and staying that way. I don't know exactly. It's something to do with the direction of the movement, because this one follows this one. This one eventually bleeds off all its energy into this one, all its movement into this one, and comes to a stop, and then when this one's moving, this one will start following that one. It's all to do with the direction. My dad said the stop and go pendulums I made were called coupled pendulums. He also said I could understand how it worked after I learned more advanced math when I'm older. Okay, for now I try to think of cool things I could do with coupled pendulums. One idea I had is to use a coupled pendulum to hide a secret passage. Like if you found a pendulum hanging by itself at swings, then slows down, and then speeds up again, you'd know there must be another pendulum close by hanging from the same rope beam. You would look at the rope beam to see where the secret passage was. Fair? Another idea is how I could make a coupled pendulum where you can only reach one of the bobs, but you need the other bob to swing. But because the pendulums are coupled, you just push one to make the other swing. I'll keep thinking. Like Dad says, science can help you understand things as they are, and can also help you invent new things too. Okay, so I think this is just going to be our example of it. So I didn't click that. Why did it move? So here you go. And you'll see it starts swinging after it. And then here it goes again. I don't know if have they modeled in the actual rope movement? No, they haven't modeled in rope movement, which is a bit disappointing, but you can't expect too much. Okay, I kind of want to go into the crystal room, because these are pretty. Oh, okay, I feel like we're about to enter the lava room up here. Oh, some mushrooms. What's the Eye of Sauron doing here? Oh yeah, here's some lava. Jeez. Yeah, you know what? This here would probably kill you. That doesn't seem safe at all. This wood should not be here. Should have spontaneously combusted by now. We'll go explore the other passageway. Is there a way around here? Was this something? Oh, no, it was just more lava stuff. But there was definitely another passageway down here. Wonder if this links up to the other one that I was looking at. Oh, that's just a hole. Aha! What do you know? Secret passages. Yeah, so we'll swing this. And what should happen is this should slow down. And stop. And then it will start slowly moving again. Yeah. So there's some form of secret passageway on the other side of that. Whereas this one, I believe, will just swing because it doesn't look like it's got an actual rope hooked up to it. Is it colliding with this wooden beam? I mean, I think it was. Yeah. Same with this one. Come on. Is this the way that I was... No, it wasn't. That's weird. Where's the crystal room? Oh, I never like seeing mist like that. It's a sure sign that Draug are in here. Played Skyrim once. Alright, so let's go back to this one. So there's a secret passage on the other side of this wall. So we're gonna break it down. Oh, geez, that's dangerous. Alright, here we are in a secret passage. That's not army made. In fact, a lot of this isn't army made. I'm starting to get a little worried that we've stumbled across some sort of, cult of Dagon shit. Would it have been Dagon in the Caribbean? Maybe one of the other elder gods. I don't know, it's kind of hard to work that out. Okay, so this passageway comes down on this side of the lava cave, so we could actually get in there. That's cool. Let's see where that other fork went, because I feel like there was another direction down here. Look, when you find your Dagon cult building, you better be investigating the whole damn thing. Okay, so there's some planks to get up there. That's another rope. This kid had a lot of time to be making all this shit. Alright, so we'll get up here and swing this and see what happens. Yeah, so you see that one started swinging, it slowed down, this one started getting faster, and that one started moving again. Yeah, and honestly, this is a pretty easy experiment to do by yourself. You just get a length of rope, arrange it like this, and some heavy weights. I don't think there's anything here. I think this is just like a, hey, here's the puzzle. Because this doesn't seem to go anywhere here. Of course, I don't know how they got the rings up in the ceiling. Like, come on, guys. Anything down there? Doesn't look like it. Alright, let's get out of here. We'll go across the lava chasm. That was up this way, wasn't it? Yeah. Got some more reading to do. The sailors came again last night. We didn't hear them since we were in the caves, so when we came up, their boat was already docked and they were standing on the pier. Dad hurried us into the shack and we all stayed hidden. Ghulam agreed it was strange if they came a third time. But what if they really were just normal guys in trouble and actually needed to use our boat radio again? Dad said the radio has its own battery, so they can use it even without the ignition key. If they needed to call anyone, even emergency help, they could do it without us going out to meet them. We watched carefully through windows and saw them walk around Bunker Island for a couple of hours, but they couldn't come over to us. When the sun set, they got in the boat and left. Right after that, Dad said he's confident they can't follow us, and that he's ready to go down through the big cave door to see what's beyond. We tried to get a good night's rest. It was hard to sleep. And then we spent all day today getting ready to travel. We hope the caves lead to Wretched Major, just like the army notes say, and we can set up a new base camp there, so we've packed everything up. It'll take many trips to haul our stuff, but if the tracks are intact all the way, the rail carts will help us. Ghulam filled the tank with diesel and made sure the engine works, so we're all ready to go. Mum had earlier rigged an electromagnet latch like a deadbolt so we could lock the steel lid on the well from the inside, and like she always did, she made a way to get inside if she got locked outside and needed to get in, using one of the old army generators. She connected it to the latch so if you turned on the generator, it would unlatch the lid. This made both Mum and Dad feel safe, because the only way to turn on the generator is with the key. In case those sailors are nearby, we don't want them to see us go, so we're getting up and leaving tomorrow before the sun rises. There's no reason to wait till dawn anyway, since the sun doesn't reach down into the caves. But it's off to Wretched Major, I hope. Okay, so that was a pretty small one there. Let's connect this up with the winch. And there's the thing that opens that door. If you step off it, it slams down. That's fine. What we want to do is come over here to the truck, or this lovely little thing. Hop on board. We don't have a key. We need a key. Okay, we need a key. Maybe in the big pendulum room? I mean, that's the only reason I can think of it actually being there, right? Let's see. Start a swinging again, because why not? Oh, we could fall a fair way. Ah! There's a box on top of that pillar. I think we need to swing this further and further. So we're just knocking it a bit more in each direction. That should do it. Here we go. Boom. Oh, I was not expecting that to break that hard. There we go. Neat. Now we'll go back the way we came in because we shut the other side off. Oh, that's an error, that is. Shouldn't be able to see that. That's just because the properties of the wall must fade out when you get to that point, so you can see the that green light is on the railway track up here. I mean, I guess if the sailors couldn't speak English, then they probably couldn't read the kid's diary, so, you know. Alright, here we are. In we go. Off we go. Choo choo! Oh, we got an achievement for that, nice. Chugga 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 chugga. God, I would not want to be doing this. And we should get through it just as we exit that, and then we're... Whoops. Ah, we must be in a loading screen. You made it. I knew you'd figure it out. We're waiting for you on the next island so we can all go home. Is that the end? That's the end. Nice. That was really good. I really enjoyed that. Short game. I mean, a little bit longer because we read it all out. But no, good work. Good work, guys. Everyone who's scrolling past now. And all of the Kickstarter guys who helped out, I guess. Yeah. I wouldn't mind more puzzles over on Wretched Major, but like, no, that was pretty nice. Nice little journey through science. Some science, anyway. Ah, very impressed, very impressed. Now I gotta find something else to play, though. A lot of Kickstarter backers here. Well, I hope you all found this interesting at the very least. I certainly did. Enjoyed it greatly. Next, we'll have something a little bit less reading intensive because, yeah. Whew, I'm sure you've heard enough of my voice for a little bit, in terms of reading anyway. I'm wondering what else we can play. I got some ideas, we'll work something out. Might finally get into that War in Europe game. We'll see. This is still Kickstarter backers. You guys did a good job. Like, there we go. And I mean, it was a pretty cheap game, so hey, good work all for helping it come out and be that cheap. And it was on my wish list for a while. Like, I was watching it because I was like, that could be fun. But I don't know. And then it came on sale, so I grabbed it. And here we are at the title screen again. Yes, so I guess that was good. That was a lot of fun. We'll have to make it a shorter episode today, unfortunately, but I'm sure you don't mind. And I'll have to work out something else for Friday. I think Friday's the next episode. In the meantime, though, I've been Sub. You've been yourselves. Later.